Hey guys, how are you doing? Another glorious week that we've gotten down to the end of. And it has been a long week. I actually had to spend the whole week off at the School for the Blind in Raleigh. And I didn't get a chance to sit down and meditate on a word for you guys this week. But as I got home and heard about situations that had happened around my family, I was reminded of a scripture. It's in the 24th chapter of Joshua. It says, "Choose ye this day whom you will serve." Now, that's not the whole scripture, it's actually just a portion of the 15th verse. Choose ye this day whom you will serve. And I actually like that scripture for two reasons, actually. One, because it reminds us that we have a choice. All of us, no matter who you are, no matter where you've been, no matter what you've done, just despite your background, despite your upbringing, despite all the trials and tribulations, trauma, scars, some of us haven't crossed every T and dotted every I. But we all have one choice, and that is to either choose God or choose the devil. Choose life or choose death. Choose heaven or choose hell. Choose blessings or choose cursings. Don't get it twisted. There's no in betweens. That's going to be either one or the other. But you get to choose. I also like the part of that scripture that says this day, because it reminds us to redeem the time, to not waste time. Tomorrow is not promised to any of us. So we got to choose this day whom we're going to serve. We can't waste time thinking that, oh, well, I'll do this tomorrow, or I'll go to church next week, or I'll do this 2 weeks from now. Tomorrow is not promised to nobody. Everyone has a time to die. That's given, that's an evident. But it's where will you spend eternity afterwards? That's what we need to be concerned with. At every given second, any one of us is only a couple of inches away from life and death. We just don't know it. A situation happened with one of my nieces. She said she was riding on a bus home one night. I think it was a couple of days ago. And for some crazy reason, someone decided to spray the bus with bullets. Yeah, that was a crazy drive-by. And as the police canvassed the crime scenes and looked at the bullet holes in the windows, someone noted that there was a bullet hole maybe like 12 inches above the very seat that my niece was sitting at. 12 inches. If she had been sitting up higher, or that bullet had traveled down a little lower, she would not be here right now. But thanks be to God. Any one of us, we may not know it sometimes. We can walk out of our door and get into an accident or get into a issue with someone and they pull out a gun, or just anything can happen and we don't even know it. So it behooves us to always be prepared. Live a life where if you do die, when you do die, you'll know where you're going. So, on today, Facebook, I just want to encourage you to think about that. To think about that. Sometimes you may only be 12 inches away from death. And if that happens, where will you spend eternity? The Bible is so simple that it says, in order to make it into heaven, you must be born again. That's in the book of Romans. Very simple. You must be born again. And it doesn't matter how nice you've been in life. I used to think that I could make it into heaven just by being nice to people. But that's not what the scripture says. The scripture says you must be born again. You must accept Christ into your life. So I challenge you today, if you don't know Jesus, don't take for granted that you'll have tomorrow. You may only have 12 inches away from death. So choose ye this day whom you will serve. I love you guys. And I just want you to be well in life. I want you to be happy, and I want you to be blessed. As always, if you don't have a good church home, I always offer mine up for you. That's right. True Way Holy Church, 403 Baptist Road, Durham, North Carolina. Those of you who follow my posts every week, if you like the way my messages flow, well, you know what? The apple does not fall far from the tree. If you love me, then you'll love my pastor. He brings a good word every week. I think this week he's following up on a series on relationships. And I'm excited about that because we can always learn something more about relationships. I love you guys. Have an awesome Sunday. Be blessed. Think of things that you can be joyful about. And as always, that's right, keep smiling.